Hello again from Fired Up. I'm your host for the show, Bob Irwin, broadcasting from Rigel Studios here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This show is about guns, related politics, and self-defense. Fired Up is on my website, Fired Up with Bob Irwin, as well as the American Guns and Glory Network, YouTube, and numerous other media. If your local internet provider doesn't carry Fired Up, ask them to do that. A new show is posted every Thursday around 5 p.m. Pacific Time. The audio is rebroadcast for radio listeners on Saturdays at noon on the Nevada Talk Network. You can check out KELY1230.com, KELY1230.com, for the station in your part of Nevada. If you have questions or comments, you can send me an email to bob@firedupmail.com or leave a message on my office recorder, which is 702-257-1060. Again, that's 702-257-1060. If you would like a call back, please leave your contact number or an email address, and I'll return your call. There are several hundred defensive uses of firearms each week in the United States, rarely truthfully or fully covered by news media. I always select a few for my listeners' information. Most are good shootings, some not so good, but all are educational for those of you that keep a defensive firearm at home or carry one out in public. Individual incidents are generally adjudicated under local law, so understand the advice given here may not apply in the area where you live. Advice from a local gun-knowledgeable defense attorney is always recommended. Stories are often paraphrased for clarity by translation by me from police jargon, lawyer speak, or regional accents into more standard American English. The incidents are as reported, with the names of the participants deleted. The names of the cops, the lawyers, and the media are generally used. Be sure to watch our disclaimer at the end of the show to better understand how I put these shows together. And here we go. First up, as has been my habit lately, is the congressional stuff that's going on and the gun issues that are coming up in the state and national level. On March 1, 2021, a new attempt to end qualified immunity for law enforcement officers came out. A Congresswoman named Alina Presley, she's a Democrat from Massachusetts, and a Senator named Edward J. Markey, he's a Democrat from Massachusetts, today reintroduced they introduced a bill they call the Ending Qualified Immunity Act. The Ending Qualified Immunity Act. They claim the bill will eliminate the unjust and court-invented doctrine of qualified immunity and restore Americans' ability to obtain relief when state and local officials, including police officers, violate their legal and constitutionally secured rights. The reality, of course, will be to destroy officers' rights when reacting to split-second decisions and subject them to civil lawsuits as well as criminal charges. Under this legislation, officers will be subject to personal civil lawsuits, meaning they could lose their pensions and other personal assets. It's becoming nearly impossible to recruit and train new officers already with the continued physical assaults on law enforcement officers. Many are retiring early to protect their pensions and moving to states where agencies are allowed by law to defend their personnel. If this bill gets congressional approval, changing departments will no longer help. Hopefully, the United States Supreme Court will weigh in and put a stop to this idiocy, which brings us to their plan to add another 5 or 6 new justices. In short, there is no solution to the Marxists' other than to the Marxists, other than a huge conservative Republican victory in 2022. I'm urging you to get involved in the elections, make donations if you can, make phone calls, walk your neighborhood. The time is now to do something. Second up, we're going to talk about Nevada. Here in Nevada, the Ban Guns Everywhere bill, that is so hard to say, passed the assembly without the gun trespass portion on just yesterday, 4/21/21. Score this one as a success. AB 286, the bill that would have banned guns first on pretty much all private property with just a tiny sign, then on casino properties, passed the assembly on a party line vote. It now goes to the state Senate. The win here is that the trespassing while armed portion of the bill was removed. It is not only about the 800 unfinished receivers, or so-called ghost guns. Many thanks are owed to the Nevada PAC, the NAVFAC, for their help in getting this far with it, and they will work in the Senate to get the remainder of the bill taken care of. On a side note, the federal government is probably going to ban that stuff anyway, but it's still a huge win. As you recall, the original bill would have allowed private property owners to pretty much ban guns anywhere, even permitted concealed carry. This was toned down to just premises with unrestricted gaming licenses. No one deserves to be disarmed anywhere they go. Casinos cannot protect innocent citizens from violence inside their casinos, on the strip, the parking garages, etc. Heck, you aren't safe within rifle range of a hotel window. The persons causing the violence on the Las Vegas Strip are not law-abiding citizens or even permitted concealed carriers. This is where Nevada Firearms Coalition had to say again, they loathe the idea of permission slips to carry a gun. We do not believe the power of the state should be extended to ban firearms on private property. If the property owner does not want armed patrons, the existing trespassing statutes, which require a verbal warning and not just a sign, are more than sufficient. We know signs don't protect anyone and don't dissuade criminals from carrying guns. All signs do is give the police a reason to arrest after an innocent has happened. An innocent has happened while good people. The signs do not give police a reason to arrest after an incident has happened, while good people are left defenseless. This first gun story now, we've gotten through the politics of it, and we're pretty far into the show. This is 3LEX18, virtual channel 18, NBC in Lexington, Kentucky, reports May 11, 2021 in Frankfort, Kentucky. Local police responded to a burglary in progress on Wallace Avenue at around 9:35 in mid-morning. The caller mentioned that he had shot the alleged intruder, later identified as a local 35-year-old. The intruder was taken to Frankfurt Regional Medical Center before being transferred to UK Medical Center, the University of Kentucky Medical Center, where he succumbed to his injuries just after 5 p.m. Frankfurt police say an investigation is underway. Comments on this one, not much information here, but with all the lawsuits against police agencies for failure to train and failure to supervise, their lack of information here is certainly understandable. In any case, another armed resident is able to defend his home and property by being armed and having the skill and the will to defend himself. Okay. This is the next story from KTRK-TV. Oh, I'm sorry. This is where I've got, I didn't put it in the outline when I was finishing it up because I couldn't print it. I need to go to a break here for a short informational video about my latest book. Don't go away. My latest book, Self-Defense with Firearms, Use of Force in Nevada, is now available on Amazon Kindle for $4.95. You can download it now. It contains examples of dozens of shootings and pointing a firearm cases that I personally experienced in my 24 years in law enforcement, or where I testified in court or deposition as a firearm and use of force expert. The book is about the use of firearms in defense of yourself and others in my home state of Nevada. I have appeared as an expert witness in Nevada courts dozens of times, and that experience has shown me the necessity of putting pen to paper once again. Nevada state law as printed can be misleading to those of you who read it, as it is written in legal jargon, what I usually call lawyer speak. These statutes are also bent or even broken by the courts in their everyday decisions that we generally call case law. Those are rulings that say this or that statute does not apply in a particular incident and similar cases. That causes the law you are depending on when you make a decision to use your firearm only partially or not apply at all to your actions. Relevant Nevada statute numbers are included here and there, so readers may look up current wording on the Nevada State website. Teaching firearms in 28 law enforcement academies, including cadets from 26 different Nevada agencies, personally instructing over 30,000 concealed firearm permit students and 20,000 private security officers, I've discovered a lot of commonalities in deadly force incidents. Less than 100 pages, this book offers advice that can save lives and costs of expensive defense lawyers to reduce your losses in the inevitable civil lawsuits that follow these incidents. Get a copy, learn how to avoid, prepare for, and react to life-threatening situations. The book looks just like this. It's available on Amazon Kindle for less than $5. It's a quick read, less than 100 pages. And hopefully, if you get one of these, it'll save you a lot of time and trouble if you get involved in an incident using your firearm. Well worth reading, in my opinion. And I know the guy that wrote it. Okay. Story number 4. This comes from KTRK-TV. A journalist named Stefana Oakley in Harris County, Texas, reported May 10, 2021, a local woman claims her ex-boyfriend got aggressive when he went over to pick up his belongings to the house they used to share. It happened in the 2700 block of Doela Drive around 12:15 in the mid-afternoon. Deputies say the 29-year-old woman called saying the man was at her home to pick up his belongings when he got aggressive with her. She said he started head-butting and choking her. She managed to get away from the 29-year-old man and grabbed a handgun that was inside the home. According to deputies, that was when she shot and killed the guy. Deputies also said there were 2 small children in the house, but they were in a different room from where the shooting occurred. The children were reported to be okay. It is unknown if the children belonged to the man and the woman. Deputies are still investigating at the scene. Comments: statistics report more and more women are arming themselves. Firearm sales to females are the fastest growing gender statistic. The same is true of firearm training classes. Most local ranges here in Clark County offer ladies-only classes with female instructors. As to the incident, a physical headbutt and choking certainly provides a valid reason to use deadly force. This is a good shoot all the way around. And we are back. I think we're probably going to have a commercial break here, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what comes up. Freestyle Martial Arts, located at Jones and Russell here in Las Vegas. You can reach them at 702-551-9009. That's 702-551-9009. CCS Gunsmithing. Chris Eifelt, the man who does all the NRA help, he's at 2216 South Rainbow Boulevard near Sahara. He can be reached at 702-365-1732. Once again, 702-365-1732. Jerry Creed, a trust attorney. If you have a firearms trust or need one, this is your guy. You can reach Jerry at 702-806-7777. That is 702-806-7777. CCW Maggie is found all over the internet. You can reach her by phone at 702-375-5900. That's 702-375-5900. All sorts of firearms training, ladies only classes. She is the best of the best. Call CCW Maggie. Story number 5. This is from KFSN TV 30 in Fresno, California. Reported May 5, 2021 in nearby Madera, California. Police investigators say surveillance video taken outside the Walmart on Cleveland Avenue is helping them make sense of the moments that led to a woman firing a gun for protection. Madera Police Commander Gino, here we go, Chiramonte, I think, we'll call him Gino, said it happened in a matter of seconds. In this case, the surveillance video really helps tell the story. You can see a man approaching a couple in a dark sedan, which quickly leads to a confrontation. The woman's unarmed husband gets out of the car and the man begins to charge at him with a sharp object. The husband backs up several yards trying to get away. The wife steps out of the vehicle and shot one round, striking the suspect in the throat. A witness saw it all happen and tells Action News he was just a couple of parking spaces away when he heard the gunfire. This all happened pretty quick. It was really scary because the shot was really loud. It was just one shot. It was one shot, that's it. Madera police say the couple has been cooperative with the investigation. They were released last night after going to the through the police questioning. Officials say there are no plans to pursue charges in the shooting. Gino, the sheriff, said it's not a defense of her, but it's in defense of her husband. There was a lethal threat and the aggressive nature of him trying to swing and stab. You can see that in the video. Police say they don't believe the two parties had contact prior to the altercation, but the investigation doesn't stop here. Right now, the man who was shot is still in critical condition at the local medical center, CRMC. Police are hoping to speak to him to provide more answers about the initial confrontations. It's still unclear at this point if he could face charges in the case. Comments here, the video once again likely provides the unassailable proof. The police commander is quite clear about his belief that this is a good shooting. It's nice to see clear support of a defensive shooting. Okay, now we are looking at, we're looking at a break here for our next ending commercials. Attorney Donald J. Green, a common guest of mine on Fired Up. He can be reached at 702-409-8239. He specializes in gun case litigation. He is your man. Don Green, 702-409-8239. And Battlefield Vegas, my new kind of home for this show. They're on Circus Circus Drive, directly behind the Circus Circus Hotel and Casino. You can find them there with CCW classes and an amazing place for gun rentals, everything you could possibly imagine. Check out, if you're in town as a tourist, check out battlefieldvegas.com. Okay, that's the end of the show for this week. I want to just tell you I'll be back next Thursday on my website, firedupwithboberwin.com, the American Guns and Glory Network, and numerous other websites, television, and radio stations. When watching any media, please click on subscribe so the new shows can be sent to your phone or computer automatically each week. You can check out my recent shows at firedupwithboberwin.com. It contains several dozen episodes. My logo merchandise, hats, shirts, and books are available at Battlefield Vegas, just behind Circus Circus on the Strip. Again, if you're in Las Vegas, this is a must-see attraction. You can shoot a minigun or any of hundreds of other firearms and even crush a car with an Abrams tank at their associated outdoor facility. Transportation is provided. You can find them at info at battlefieldvegas.com. The disclaimer's coming up, which will give you more of a background on how we put these shows together. It explains a lot of what we do and this and that and the other thing, and it just is informational as to how we do this. Yeah, please watch the show. Share the show with your friends and comment on the show when you see it. We left that off the front end because I had the wrong outline in my hand. So we're there now. Anyway, thank you so much for watching Fired Up. I hope it saves you from making a firearm mistake if you have a firearm incident. Have a great weekend.